A man with adamantium claws and a mysterious past finds himself in the heart of a Canadian forest. He has no recollection of who he is or where he came from. The only thing he knows is that he possesses accelerated healing and superhuman strength. As he fights to survive in this harsh world, he begins to uncover fragments of his past. He remembers fighting in wars, loving a woman, and being betrayed. Back in the day, around 1845 in Canada, young James got really sick with a nasty fever. His stepbrother Victor barely left his bedside, keeping him company. Their dad came by to check on James, telling him he'd be good as new by morning. But then their dad had to run outside. There was some commotion with the gardener. Turns out, the gardener attacked and killed their father right in front of the young boy. Devastated, James suddenly sprouted these claws from his hands. He was some kind of mutant. Acting on his grief and rage, he went after the gardener and pinned him to the wall. As the gardener was dying, he revealed that he was actually James' real dad. Shaken, James took off, but his half-brother Victor chased after him. Victor told James they had to stick together no matter what and protect each other. Over the years, the brothers kept that promise, and their bond only grew stronger through all the tough times they faced, fighting side by side in the Civil War and both World Wars. But the horrors of war really took a toll on Victor's mind, making his behavior more and more unstable. When they ended up in Vietnam, Victor assaulted a woman and then attacked his superior officer, getting them both arrested. Even with James pleading for him, they were sentenced to face a firing squad. As they awaited their fate, Victor turned to James and told him to wake him up when it was all over. Nothing seemed strong enough to actually kill them. When they came to, they ran into Major William Stryker. Recognizing they were no ordinary soldiers, William made them an offer. Join his specialized unit and use their unique abilities, or be experimented on like lab rats. With no other options, the brothers agreed to join the team, where they met a weird group of fellow mutants. As the team gets ready for their first mission, they meet Wade, a swordsman who looks a lot like Deadpool. The guy's got a reputation for being a real lethal soldier. It's clear that Victor has a similar ability to James, the ability to retract and extend those razor-sharp claws. Anyway, Wade starts giving Victor a hard time, telling him he needs a manicure or something. Meanwhile, Fred goes and gets this new tattoo of some gymnast chick he just met yesterday. Dude's already fallen for her. And then there's Bradley, who can use his mind to guide the plane to its destination. Pretty impressive stuff. When they land in Nigeria, they face a rogue mutant who mercilessly picks off their soldiers from long ranges. One soldier survives inside a battle tank and tries to fight back, but another team member, Fred, uses his bare hand to block the cannon blast, causing a huge explosion. Entering the compound, their adversary plunges the building into darkness, slowing the team down. But the mutant Bradley restores the power. Security guards attack, and as the elevator doors open, Wade unleashes his swordplay, even cutting a bullet in half. However, the man believed they were just there to steal his diamonds. But William and the team were actually after this mysterious rock the guy had in his possession. He claimed he'd found the rock in a village about 3 days' journey away, so William decided they'd go investigate. When they reached the village, that's when one of the local villagers told him the rock had actually fallen from the sky. When he heard that, William ordered Victor to eliminate all the villagers. Victor was more than happy to start killing them, but James quickly stepped in and grabbed Victor's arm to stop him. James reminded Victor that wasn't why they joined William's team. They weren't just cold-blooded killers. Pissed off, James decided he was done with all of it. He ripped off his dog tags, officially quitting the team, and just walked off, ignoring Victor's calls. 6 years later, James was living a quiet life with his girlfriend Kayla, having left all that craziness behind. Elsewhere, at a carnival, another member of Team X, Bradley, is using his telekinetic skills to hustle some cash. Making it rain stuffed animals is probably not what William envisioned for the team, but hey, a buck's a buck, right? When he goes back home, someone bangs on his door. It's Victor, looking like he could tear the door off its hinges. Bradley tries to calm him down, insisting he hasn't spilled the beans to anyone. He's got a new life now, a decent one, and wouldn't dream of messing that up. Just as things seem to settle down a bit, Victor drops a bomb. Wade's dead. Before Bradley can even process that, Victor goes cold, and then he plainly kills Bradley as the lights around the funfair go off. The next morning, William goes to see James at his work and tells him he has a proposal. William says that Bradley and Wade have been killed, and he thinks someone is targeting their Team X unit. He wants James to go after the culprit, but James wants no part of it, even though trouble seems to follow him everywhere. He now goes by the name Logan. The next day, Logan stumbles upon a dead bear in the forest. Meanwhile, Victor approaches Kayla, and Logan rushes to her car. But he's too late. Kayla is gone. Moments later, he lets out a heartbroken scream when he finds Kayla's body. That night, Victor waits for Logan in a bar, and his brother shows up. As they get ready to fight, Logan asks Victor why he killed Kayla. Victor complains that Logan never contacts him, so this was his way of getting his attention. They go at it, and Logan lands some good hits at first, but he can't keep up. He won't give in though, not an inch. But Victor's just too strong, and in the end, he wears Logan down. As Victor holds his beaten brother, he wonders if Kayla was worth the time they could have spent together. Logan says he's nothing like Victor, but his brother disagrees. Then Victor slams his huge fist down on Logan's claws, smashing them as police approach. Logan wakes up in a hospital bed. He grabs the doctor by the throat, demanding to know about Victor. The doctor has no answers, but William suddenly appears, offering to help Logan stop Victor, who has become uncontrollable. William says he has a way for Logan to defeat his brother, and reluctantly, Logan agrees to work with him, but only if William tells him where Victor is first. Stryker then takes Logan to a lab, where he'll undergo a process to cover him in the indestructible metal, adamantium. Before it starts, Logan asks for a new dog tag engraved with the name Wolverine, a nickname Kayla had suggested. As the procedure begins, Logan is overwhelmed by excruciating pain and flashes of memories. As the procedure starts, Logan's in excruciating pain and starts having flashbacks. All this time, William calls him Weapon X, which pisses Logan off. One of William's goons, Zero, asks what they're going to do with him. William's plan is messed up. He wants to use Logan's DNA to create 11 and then wipe Logan's memory. Wolverine hears that and loses it. He breaks out of the chamber and runs like hell. William tells Zero to hunt him down and kill him. Logan runs to a farm and hides in a barn. An old couple comes home and the old man finds Logan naked and shivering. He makes sure Logan isn't on drugs and then invites him into the house. Wolverine checks out his new claws. They're made of adamantium and are super sharp. He cuts the sink in half just to test them out. The old man tells Logan that he looks out for blood and that people who go looking for blood usually find it. Logan says his choice was taken away from him. The old lady joins them and then there's gunfire. She's killed and the old man is hit too. He dies in Logan's arms. William orders a helicopter to blow up the barn. The explosion is huge, but Logan survives and rides away on the old man's motorcycle. The helicopter and some other vehicles chase after him. William really wants Wolverine dead. Logan's claws are so sharp that he decides to go head-to-head against one of the vehicles. Using his claws, he cuts the vehicle in half. Then he does the same to the helicopter, jumping on it and cutting its wings with ease. When the helicopter goes down, William asks Zero if Logan is dead. Logan grabs the headset and tells William he's coming for him. Back in the lab, William knows Wolverine will be hard to kill, so he tells his people they need adamantium bullets. This way, maybe they can stop him. Later, Logan meets up with some old friends from Team X. One of them, John, tells him they all feel guilty because they realized William was making them hunt mutants. Logan meets another old friend, Fred, who became obese and developed an eating disorder from the guilt. Logan asks about a place William mentioned called the Island. Fred doesn't want to talk and mishears Logan, thinking he called him a blob. He puts Logan in the ring. They make a deal. If Logan defeats Fred, he'll tell Logan everything. Logan knocks Fred out, and when Fred wakes up, he reveals that Victor works with William, catching mutants for him and taking them to the island where William experiments on them. Nobody knows the exact location, but a mutant called Remy escaped and may know where it is. Over at the high school, there's a student named Scott Summers serving detention, apparently for wearing sunglasses during his Spanish class. Out of nowhere, Victor shows up and knocks Scott out. Then William appears and orders Victor to take the young guy to the island. Meanwhile, Logan and John head to a casino to meet up with Remy. While Logan chats with Remy, Victor suddenly attacks John. Even though John tries to teleport away, Victor still manages to get the upper hand, telling John he's just too predictable. At the same time, Remy attacks Logan, sending him flying out of the casino since Remy doesn't want to be taken back to the island. Outside, Logan sees Victor and the two start fighting. Wolverine seems to have the advantage, but then Remy interrupts them, trashing the place. Victor uses the distraction to escape, while Remy keeps Logan busy. Eventually, Logan pins Remy down and explains he just needs Remy to take him to the island so he can kill those who've wronged him. Remy agrees and takes Logan there. Meanwhile, William's scientists work on creating a mutant weapon called Deadpool. When Logan finds William's lab, there's a surprise waiting. Kayla, who Logan thought was dead, is actually in on William's scheme. Her mutant power is hypnosis, which William used to have her seduce Logan and keep tabs on him. Victor also shows up, angry that William let Logan get away. As it appears, Victor has a deal with William, but the Major tells him he won't survive the operation if they infuse him with adamantium. Victor grabs Kayla, and Logan hears her screams, drawing him back. As he fights Victor, Kayla appears to tell Logan she didn't trick him. What they had was real for her too. Kayla needs his help. William is keeping mutant prisoners, including her sister. Logan rushes to free the prisoners, while William orders his team to activate Deadpool. Logan and Kayla lead the prisoners toward the exit, but Deadpool appears, blocking their way. Knowing this mutant is strong, Logan tells Kayla to get the young mutants out through another exit. As everyone runs, Logan asks Deadpool if he's Wade, urging him not to attack. However, Deadpool is controlled by William and engages anyway. While they fight, the young mutants are attacked by a dozen soldiers. Despite this, they work together and defeat the soldiers. Kayla urges them to run as she tells her sister she must stay and help Logan. Meanwhile, Logan jumps atop a tall grid tower, but is surprised to see Deadpool can teleport. Nearly defeated, Victor unexpectedly appears to help, saying only he is allowed to kill his brother. Together, they fight Deadpool until Logan sneaks up, removing his head. As Deadpool's spinning head shoots lasers, the collapsing tower cuts in half. Though both survive, Logan tells Victor this changes nothing. Victor disagrees. They're brothers, obligated to protect one another. Meanwhile, William loads a gun with adamantium bullets. Victor takes off, and Logan hears Kayla calling out to him. He rushes over, scoops her up in his arms, and they start to get out of there. But out of nowhere, William appears behind them, guns blazing. Logan goes down, but William isn't satisfied. He knows Logan is tougher than that. He figures putting a couple bullets in Logan's head will make Wolverine lose his memories and forget everything. So that's what he does, shoots him twice. Then he goes after Kayla, but she has a trick up her sleeve. She touches his leg and somehow gets him to turn the gun on himself. Then she tells him to walk, just walk until his feet bleed, and keep on walking. Meanwhile, the young mutants manage to escape. Professor X shows up and gets them to safety. As for Logan, he wakes up with Remy standing over him. The problem is, Logan has no clue who he is. Just before they leave the island, Logan finds Kayla, lying there dead. Remy asks if he knows who she is, but Logan's mind is blank. He's lost everything. Fast forward a few years, there's a war going on, and Logan is locked up in a Japanese prison camp near Nagasaki. Word comes that a nuke is headed their way. They let all the prisoners loose so they can try to run. One of the Japanese soldiers, Ichiro Yashida, opens Logan's cell and tells him to get going. Logan isn't so sure there's even a point in running, but just as the bomb drops, he sees Ichiro about to give up, ready to end it all. Something snaps in Logan. He grabs Ichiro, pulls him back into the cell, and uses his own body to shield him from the blast. Logan gets burned badly, but like always, he heals up. Ichiro is scared out of his wits, but Logan keeps him down in the cell until it's safe. Jump to the present day. Logan is haunted by dreams of his old flame, Jean, who he had to kill to save the world. In the dream, he tells her he swore never to hurt anyone again. But Jean says it's too late, and he sees his claws buried deep in her. He wakes up, and it's clear he has become a bit feral, living rough in the mountains, even befriending a wandering bear. One night, he hears strange noises that sound like people screaming. He goes to investigate and finds the bear torn up and dying. He tries to calm it, but has to put the poor thing out of its misery. He heads back to town to find out what happened. Turns out some hunters left the bear to die slowly. Logan finds them in a bar, ready to tear them apart. Just as the fight is about to start, a little girl named Yukio appears and stops him. She says the hunters will die soon anyway, and describes how each one will kick the bucket like she can see the future. After teaching them a lesson, she tells Logan her boss, Ichiro Yashida, wants to see him, the man Logan saved in Nagasaki. Though not thrilled about going to Tokyo, Yukio convinces him. She says Ichiro became very wealthy and wants to thank Logan before he dies. Logan isn't impressed by money, but agrees to show some respect. While waiting, Logan sees two men dressed as samurais. When Yukio joins him, she reveals that one of them is Shinjin, Ichiro's son. Yukio takes Logan near Ichiro's chamber, where he sees Mariko for the first time. Mariko is Ichiro's granddaughter. Before he can see Ichiro, Yukio takes him to clean himself up. Logan is not in the mood for a shave and a haircut, but Yukio pulls her knife out, showing him she is very serious. Soon, Logan finds his old self and is taken to see Ichiro. When the old man sees him, he comments that Logan looks exactly as he used to back in the day. Ichiro asks Dr. Green to leave him and Logan alone for a few moments, but the professor is very strict, only allowing them 5 minutes. As it appears, Ichiro does not just want to thank Logan, but he also has a proposition for him. Ichiro believes a man loses purpose by living forever. He thinks he will do Logan a favor if he helps him lose his immortality. Logan believes his condition can't be undone, but Ichiro explains he can take his immortality if Logan transfers it to somebody else. Ichiro is not ready to die, but Logan is. However, the old man has misread the situation. Logan tells him he can't give him what he wants and walks away. Next, Logan watches Mariko in an intense argument with Shinjin. Their confrontation ends with Shinjin slapping her. Mariko attempts to commit suicide, but Logan sees her and stops her at the last minute. Meanwhile, Shinjin goes to speak with his father. The tension between them is palpable, and Ichiro begins explaining that he's tested Shinjin over the years to see if he is the right person to lead the company, but realized he is not. Later, Logan has another strange dream where Jean kisses him but then turns into Dr. Green. When he wakes up, the room is empty. Yukio then informs Logan that Ichiro has died. The next day, everyone attends Ichiro's funeral. Shinjin's hostility towards Logan is evident, as he tells him he can go back to his nest now that he's paid his respects. During the funeral, Logan notices a strange tattoo on a priest's wrist. Just as they are about to be discovered, one of the priests shoots Logan, stunning him even though he should recover quickly. The Yakuza attack, kidnapping Mariko as Logan is repeatedly shot. Logan manages to catch up with the gangsters and rescue Mariko, but more Yakuza are waiting outside and beat him up. An archer comes to Logan's aid, allowing him a moment to recover before chasing after Mariko again. They manage to lose the Yakuza, but Logan is bleeding and suffering. At the train station, Mariko insists she can find her own way from there and walks off on her own. However, Logan knows Mariko isn't safe yet and follows her onto the train. When he asks where she's headed, she reveals a house near the end of the line. Logan thinks it's a terrible idea, but Mariko is determined. His instincts prove correct as they encounter more Yakuza in the train's bathroom. Though bullets still hurt, Logan slices open the train's side, sending many gangsters flying. He grapples with one on the roof, desperately trying to shake him. Finally, Logan tricks the man into slamming headfirst into a trackside sign. Exhausted, he takes Mariko to a love hotel to hide. Even here, Jean's specter haunts Logan, but another attack interrupts him. This time, the Wolverine is severely beaten. Mariko saves him and drags him inside. When Logan awakens, he's disoriented. Never has he felt so weak. He questions Mariko about Dr. Green, learning that Ichiro recruited her from America. The next day, Mariko brings Logan to her inherited house, revealing that Ichiro left the company to her. Logan suspects her father holds a grudge and might be behind the Yakuza attacks. He knows her relationship with her father is strained. Later, as Logan immerses himself in village life, helping locals with tasks. The surroundings stir a sense of familiarity. He's drawn to a specific spot and discovers the wartime bunker where he was imprisoned. He remembers saving Ichiro, who gifted him a sword as thanks. Logan had asked Ichiro to keep it safe, promising to return one day. They climbed out together, witnessing the nuclear devastation. That night, Logan and Mariko share an intimate moment. His claws emerge in a dream about Jean, but Mariko remains calm, sharing a story from her grandfather's past. She gently questions him about Jean, having heard him murmur her name in his sleep. Logan opens up, finding solace in Mariko's understanding. Morning brings a new kidnapping attempt. Logan pursues, but only manages to capture one thug. Torturing him yields a lead, Yukio. He asks her help to reach Mori, a politician and Mariko's arranged fiancé, a match made by Ichiro. Logan finds Mori in his decadent apartment and confronts him about the murder plot. The corrupt Minister of Defense admits Shinjin promised vast wealth in exchange for Mariko's death. Meanwhile, Mariko is brought before Shinjin, poised to kill her. But Dr. Green dispatches ninjas to intervene. The archer saves Mariko, while Green informs Shinjin she needs his daughter alive before injecting him with a lethal poison. Shinjin dies a gruesome death just as Logan and Yukio arrive. Sensing his weakness, Logan slices his own flesh open, revealing an electronic device implanted near his heart. It seems his dream of Dr. Green was real. With Yukio buying him time, Logan desperately extracts the device. His heart stops, but with a gasp, he revives. Shinjin attacks, surprising Logan with his fighting skills. Yet, Shinjin is no match and dies at Logan's hand. Logan rushes to Mariko's rescue, but ninjas swarm him. They still believe him weakened, unaware of his restored power. As the fight rages, they call reinforcements. Yukio enters the fray, crushing attackers with a massive machine. Realizing Logan has regained his strength, the archer poisons his arrows with Dr. Green's concoction. Logan collapses, the poison temporarily paralyzing him. He awakens strapped to a lab table where Dr. Green unveils a towering suit, the Silver Samurai, forged from adamantium. Then, Green challenges him to unleash his claws. Once he does, she traps them in that position. As the Silver Samurai activates, Mariko tricks the archer into stealing his knife. And trying to help Logan, the Silver Samurai uses an energized sword, trying to cut Logan's claws. Yukio appears just in time and frees him. The Silver Samurai goes after Logan, and they start fighting. Logan tries to defend himself, but the samurai uses the huge energized sword to cut his claws. Green appears as well, and she helps the samurai. But Yukio appears behind her, and it is time for them to fight as well. Meanwhile, the samurai pins Logan down and is about to finish him, but the archer appears to save him because he believes this is not the honorable way to do it. Logan uses that opportunity to grab the energized sword and cut the head of the Silver Samurai. However, the samurai is still alive and pushes Logan to a cliff. As Logan is hanging there, the samurai grabs him and connects its pathways to Logan's claw's essence. Suddenly, Ichiro appears under the suit and tells Logan that he is naive to believe that he would die so easily. As he is absorbing Logan's DNA out of him, the Wolverine is getting older, while Ichiro is getting younger. Moriko witnesses this scene and grabs two of Logan's claws, using them to impale her grandfather's head. Logan has the time to recover, and now his bone claws grow out of his hand. He uses them to almost finish Ichiro off before pushing him down the cliff and putting an end to this fight. Now, he is free to greet Moriko goodbye and continue with his life as he pleases.